It's a lovely Wednesday afternoon, the day that the Lord has made, so that we can all rejoice and be glad in it. Welcome to Let's Talk About It with me, Pastor Pauline. Today is an exciting day, I'm always super excited when I am hosting women, because women are my heartbeat, and especially if they're doing the most, if they're influencing change, that's double joy for me. So if you're joining in, you can catch us live on Light TV on Topstar channel 121 and Facebook Live. Our Facebook handle is Light TV Zambia. The same goes for YouTube. So what are we talking about today? Yes, the table is set for the truth. Just the truth. I know sometimes, the truth is quoted, especially within the church. Pray, it'll happen. Pray, money will fall from heaven. There's miracle money. So just be indoors praying for 30 days or 40 days and fasting, and the miracle will come. I don't know, like others. I'm not saying miracles don't happen. Miracles do happen. But we just want to be realistic. We just want to be objective today. So I have two powerful women today who are prophetesses. So I was just thinking, being a prophetess, maybe you just prophesy and then the money will come. You don't have to work. But then, again, the Bible says, he who does not work, let him not eat. So, today we are confronting laziness. We are confronting dependency and excuses. Sometimes we feel like hard work can be replaced with prayer. So we want wisdom released, work, business, and kingdom wealth. So my guests today have lived this message. They are living it, actually. They have lived it. They are living it. So my first guest on my immediate right is Prophetess Juliet Malanga from Livingstone. And I also have Prophetess Teresa. She's coming back for the second time. It's not her first time. We loved her the first time that she came. These women who carry the word, and they carry results. They just don't carry words, but they also carry results. So I want you to help me welcome them to the program. Welcome to the program, women of God.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
I am so excited that you came.
Thank you.
You look beautiful, the both of you.
Thank you. You look beautiful.
Stunning.
Yeah, it's been robes. Isn't it? Prophetess Teresa, are you not supposed to be in the robe as a prophetess?
Oh, I didn't know that was a memo.
No, not for here. I just feel like, sometimes when you hear about the bishop, when you hear about the prophetess, the prophets, they should be in robes. But anyway, the world has evolved.
Yes.
So, we are going to discuss a very, very interesting topic.
Yes.
Within the church,
Yes.
we know that many a times the church has been referred to as the, being poor, as a church mouse.
Sure.
And I don't know, you've been in church for a long period of time.
Yes.
And I'm sure you've seen where the church, most of the time, people in the church, mostly, when it comes to education, when it comes to being found in the marketplace, there it's a demonic place. And I even heard some people talking about the TV like that's a demonic box.
What?
So you should just read the Bible, pray, and then everything is miraculously happening. So, woman of God, I'll start with you. Maybe just try and explain to the viewers who you are, and everything that the viewers would like to know about you.
Okay. Thank you so much. This is your prophetess, Juliet Malanga, coming all the way from Livingstone. Juliet is a mother of 3, married to one man, Felix Malanga. And I'm so excited to be here. I'm so happy. The welcome is so beautiful.
Amen.
Yeah. Tell us about yourself. I mean, for me, I'm not tired of hearing about who you are again.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me here again. I love that, Prophetess Juliet, that I'm married to one man. To emphasize that.
I love that.
Yes, my name is Prophetess Teresa Obini. I'm a dual citizen of Kenya and Zambia. I'm also married to one man. I have 2 children, and I'm a CEO of a company called Onyango Investment Limited, which which concentrates on farming, food production, and supply. I also am a founder of a company of a foundation called Re-Alpha, a youth skill and women development project, and a founder of Riando Teresa in Livingston. It's a women and women empowerment program for the elderly. Yes. In a nutshell, and much more, that's me in a nutshell.
In a nutshell. It's in a nutshell. Prophetess Juliet, you serve at the Temple of Power Church in Livingston, and you are an entrepreneur in fashion, beauty, and cosmetics. How does the beauty industry become an author for productivity?
Okay, I thought to say just being a prophetess won't be enough for
Won't
me.
pay your bills.
Yes, because being a wife and a mother and people looking to you, I thought of starting up a business which never started on a big capital. I started with a small capital. Actually, I started with 5 powder and 5 perfume and few dresses. But today it's growing bit by bit because I believe hard working pays. And we all know that God can only bless that you have and that what you are carrying. So right now, by the grace of God, I do also help women, the Luyando group. Actually, I'm the coordinator in Livingston.
Awesome.
Yes, so
Awesome.
out of the small that I earn, I do that, and I keep other children, not only those 3 children I've mentioned. There are those less privileged. I bring them home. I give them some love and show them love. So
Awesome. And you're also a matron.
yes.
So the matron in the hospital or the matron in schools? Yeah, you know, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. At school, when we were in boarding, there was a matron. At the hospital, there are matrons. So that's the matron we're talking about?
No. The matron you're talking about, I've been a matron building young couple marriages.
Awesome.
Marrying people. I've married about 35 couples.
Oh, my
Yes.
God. Really?
Yes, among 35, 2 they have gone to be with the Lord. That is 3, sorry, 2 men and 1 lady. Yes. So,
Awesome. So, Mom for Bakashana, if you're looking for a matron, look no further for you who are getting
Matron
married this
is a
year. So
different-
she's matron for the wedding, even for kitchen parties.
everything.
Matron for the
Okay, the way
wedding.
it is, I do plan for wedding what you want it the way to be, and also for kitchen party, I like it to be the director of program. Yeah, I do that, and mostly detailed, not this matron which they will just want the crowding whereby you do things publicly. I have to do it intensive, like the way they did it to Esther. So we have to have one-on-one. Then when we are done, then we are good to go.
So in short, mlanda amafunde.
Empire.
Buna chimbusa.
Yonse.
Shirako bakashana ni bana chimbusa. A matron and then wedding planner. So the way you want it to just explain to her, and she is going to make it, to manifest, materialize.
Yes,
That's what she is daily. So, as also a founder of Women of Valor, what is the first thing a woman should do with her hands before she asks anyone for capital? Because mama chanda tumwambire na about 85 day. And then in Amalaya Yanga, I had 5 Amalaya. Now these days, like when we talk to these younger ones, no, you can start small. Or maybe a young man to say, okay, I've got a vision for a business. Where they're looking for big money. So what would you say?
Okay, my advice is first and foremost, you are the capital. You cannot have anything in your hands. But I remember God asking Moses to say, what do you have in your hands?
Yes.
So when you are asked that question, some of you say at that particular time, Moses has the Lord. So for us, yourself, you are a capital. I'm not talking about a capital of going to street to sell yourself. No. So what? So what I mean, as yours, I will still explain.
Sure.
So what I mean to say, you are yourself, you are a capital. Sometimes there are people who can't manage to wash. You can go there. So meaning you are using your hand. So that's what I mean, you are a capital. Sometimes they want to clean the yard. Some there are those people who cannot clean pot to wash them nicely. You do for them, weeding out the yard. So they'll give you something, maybe they'll give you a 200 or 300. Then you go to Soweto, to Carousel, order something from there. You maybe have double or triple capital. Then you start it. You are good to go from there.
I love you.
That's right.
That's all I can say, that I love
That's
you.
right.
Yeah, you know, capital from without.
Yes.
Just going, mukuseva palubanza. You don't need capital to do that. Mukuwasha. This work, each of you pale these days, woman of God. What we pale ine pano. Ndiye mkuwasha, ndiye mkuseba. We namala. Me. I wish you.
Eyelashes, I can't.
I can't. How can I even do that? Yeah. So, woman of God, coming to you. You're doing the most. You're also doing the most, and I love it that you are influencing like lots of change. You studied business administration and worked at Pepsi and Love World, and it's a big CV. Yeah. So, what is one corporate law of productivity that the church must adopt immediately?
Well, several, but I'm going to concentrate on one that needs a lot of attention, and that is investment.
Oh, awesome.
I've noticed like a church is an organization and treat it as such, not as a charitable, like always asking for alms. It's not all the time that you're going to receive that amount of money that you are requiring by just asking and expecting aid and sponsorship. You know, right now there's a war in the world. Donors are not giving out money.
Of course.
People are going through their own personal situations. They are not going to risk that and give to the church. So the church has to develop projects and invest into projects that we are going to guarantee to give money, to return profits into the organization. So whether you have sponsorship, whether you receive money from outside, that will be an added advantage. So the church has got a sole responsibility of actually taking care of the community, not from taking from the community. You need to give out. That's where you're supposed to, people are supposed to come for help, for assistance, for hope, not the other way around.
I love that. And that goes to pastors also.
That's right.
Yes, it goes to pastors. Because mostly, which I'm not condemning, you know, where pastors will call for offerings, or call for seeds and whatnot. But I love that point where you say, you know, the church should give out also, you know.
For example, I got a call from a friend of mine. She's a woman of God as well. She wanted some advice on a church project because they've got a yard, a big yard, and the church building is just a small portion. So she was asking for advice on how they can, you know, gain some funds. I said, you have a big piece of land, so why can't you invest in planting the seasonal, you know, vegetable at the moment? So they started with tomatoes. I went through the process with them. I trained them, and right now they are making funds that generate an income, and now they want to make that into an ongoing project to gain, you know, profits for the
That's
organization.
so awesome. And you know, look at most churches, you find that there are lots of members in the church, right? And then everyone eats vegetables. So if at all the church does an agricultural project like that, and everyone is buying from the church, look at that. Yeah, but it's just that, you know, sometimes knowledge. So when it's given out and, you know, Yeah, and talking about agriculture, you talk so passionately about that.
Yes.
I wanted to ask to say, when it comes to agricultural activities or projects, like the way that person requested you for ideas of what they can do, have you taken like maybe a deliberate move to try and train churches? Because most churches have got pieces of land.
Yes.
When you go to their churches, you find that there's lots of land which is just sleeping. Have you taken a deliberate move to do that?
Pastor Pauline, you're reading my mind. You know, that's the next course of action.
Awesome.
Because I've seen a need in the church and with men of God. There needs to be a mindset shift in investment, and particularly in farming. I mean, that is the easiest for me, because as Prophetess Julia said, what do you have in your hands? I cannot give them what I do not have.
Okay.
I am passionate about farming. I am a farmer. So I'm going to give you knowledge on what I have. And of course, to me, it may come out, seemingly come out easy. But I'm sure with anyone who's got an interest in farming or generating income for their community, they would definitely get the interest. Yeah.
I was asking because there's actually something that I am doing with the churches.
Right.
So I noticed that most churches, when it comes to their media,
Yes.
most of them are not doing very fine. So I took it upon myself and I wrote to some churches. Would you like me to train your media department?
Right.
Yes. And the feedback has been overwhelming.
Wow.
So sometimes they don't know that there is someone with such knowledge who is like willing to try and teach us and give us that knowledge.
So for now, I've just included my circle.
That's great.
So with plans of expansion, but before you can make moves like that, you need serious planning. But that is where we're going.
Awesome. And why do you think that agriculture is still a prophetic and economic weapon for Zambia today?
I don't think you need so much of a prophetic. I think it's general knowledge.
General knowledge.
I mean,
I like that.
Look at how Zambia is designed. Even now, we're talking about how vast our country is. We have so much land, and it's not just land; it is fertile land. Out there, people want to concentrate in the cities. There is so much land, and foreigners are now getting the land because they've seen the value. Out there's no land. So if you got fertile land, you can easily access land. Everybody has got a village they come from. I mean, your father, you can ask your father, your mother where you come from. Go out there, acquire land for almost close to nothing, and start going to the ground. That's the easiest way to generate money. Food, you never go wrong. Everyone has to eat every day. It's a need. And you won't make a loss.
Yes. I love that because, sometimes you can stay 1 year without buying clothes, but who stays 1 year without eating?
Nobody.
Yeah, no one. I did also, like, being a founder of Rialfa. Thank you for that.
Yes.
So, would you like to give maybe examples of some skills that a lady out there can learn in 30 days and under like a 200 cash? I had the woman of God talked about now Pelako the example. Like you can go to what more was that you mentioned? Carousel more. I hear could have had it too, would you like to add on that?
Oh yes. 200 kwacha I've come across a youth who started with much more less than that.
Wow.
It was 120 kwacha, if I'm not mistaken. And when he was speaking to me that he was looking for capital, this is how much he had. Being a woman of God as well, I discerned. I said, I'm not going to give him money. I'm going to give him an idea on how is to to expand that money,
Yes.
how to grow that money. So it was a training.
Mm.
So I gave him an idea to go and purchase cabbages in the farms, not Soweto, because Soweto buys cabbages from the farms
Of course.
at the end of the day. So if you go to the farm and buy cabbage for 8 kwacha, and then you sell cabbage for 20 kwacha on the road, you have made a profit from each cabbage, a 12 kwacha profit. So you have more than doubled. It's 3 times the capital that you have invested in. So if you do that over and over again, reinvest, how much money are you going to make in a month? That is the beginning of capital and expansion.
Awesome. And woman of God, so you talked about someone, 200 kwacha, going to carousel. Now we need to break it down.
Okay.
So we said they can go to carousel and then buy something. Now here is a lady out there who's watching, and then she's saying that I've got a 50 kwacha.
Okay.
So what can I buy from carousel, which I can start like reselling?
Okay, as you've heard, I said I'm also in beauty, clothes,
Yes,
fashion.
yes.
So you can go to Soweto Market. You use maybe a 20 kwacha. For transport, you go there. This time we are going towards cold season.
Yes.
There they sell socks even less than 2 kwacha 15 or 3 kwacha. You order them, wash them. Also, perfection is needed. You have to be creative. Wash them, dry them, go around and sell. By the time you realize, for example, if you get at 3 kwacha, you sell at 15 kwacha, and people they'll buy. Because where you have gone, people they can't reach there. But you know what you are doing. And when you buy those tokens, the first thing in everything, put God first. When you put God, you pray. You find that even the time you'll be going back, you will go more than you went with a 50 kwacha, you go back with 150 kwacha. You have increased.
Amen.
Awesome. And, I love what you have said. So as you're talking, I was just remembering a certain young man who came home one day in Avondale. It was raining, and then he was selling some T-shirts, some vests, for boys and whatnot. So, and then I asked him where he was coming from. And then he told me that he was coming from Garden House. Yes. Do you know I was forced to buy?
Yes.
I didn't want those things. But then I was forced to buy because I looked at the seriousness. Yes, the
determination.
effort. So he walked all the way from Garden House, got to Soweto Market, ordered those things, and then he walked. He got Avondale. It was drizzling. So I felt for him. I said, no, let me buy so that at least he should go home.
Something, yes.
So this that you have said, I agree with you 100%. I do, yeah. Prophetess Teresa, you have I don't know what it feels like to have dual citizenship, Kenya and Zambia. It must be a blessing, yeah?
Of course it is.
It is
of
a
course
blessing.
a blessing, yes.
Of course. So what have you seen women in Kenya do with their hands that women in Zambia must learn from?
Okay, our culture is not that different. There's a lot of similarities.
Okay.
But the young women, I've seen a difference in cultural value or the way they take life with the younger women, especially younger women. The younger women in Kenya, maybe because of the educational system, are being trained to be entrepreneurs at a young age. So they come out from school running with the mindset of being their own boss. So the mindset in Zambia, it's slowly shifting. We are having serious movements of entrepreneurship because before I noticed that it was a culture of getting into school, getting a degree or a college degree, and then you get into the workforce.
White collar job.
Yes, white collar job.
Yes.
Yeah. So right now I've seen a shift, but most of the shift is happening in the mid 30s. But the younger ones are still there. So I'm thinking it is the the educational system that needs to change. The curriculum needs to change so that they can have entrepreneur courses into their system as young as they can, introduce it. So as they're coming out of school, they're already having a mindset of being an entrepreneur and running with the vision instead of discovering how valuable being an entrepreneur is in your middle ages.
And now, what is one excuse about no opportunities? Because I think this has been an oversung song. You've heard it, that you no longer tolerate from the youth and Realfa. Why am I saying Realfa? Realfa.
We need to emphasize the A.
Yeah.
Realfa. It's a new beginning. Realfa means a new beginning.
New beginning.
A mindset change, a new beginning of, thought processes and everything. It's a whole movement that we'll be sharing another time.
Another time, of course, yes.
So the one thing I don't tolerate about the no opportunities, we always say that you are the opportunity. You are the opportunity. There is a former president of America who said, do not ask your country what they can do for you, but what you can do for your country. And we run with that message. You shouldn't wait for the government to afford you the opportunity. Not everyone in college and university is going to get a job, or jobs are going to be available. So there's a very large gap out there. So entrepreneurship. Use with whatever you have in your hands. The woman of God said, when God asked Moses, what do you have in your hands? God has given everyone a talent. God has given everyone a capability and ability. Your value, discover your purpose, and just begin from there.
Awesome. And you've just reminded me of something. When I finished my college, I stayed 12 years before I got a job. So now, if my hands were not productive, like, how do you survive for 12 years?
Yes.
How do you pay your bills? Yes.
Yeah.
How do you buy the lotion?
Right.
How did you do that? Was after college. I stayed 12 whole years before I got my first job. Yeah.
That's a lot.
So I'm loving these nuggets that you are giving out there. So we will take a short break, and when we come back, we are going to continue with the insightful knowledge that we are getting from the powerful women of God. So see you on the other side.
Get ready for the most anticipated talk show of the year.
Let's talk about it with Pastor Pauline. So we have been discussing foundations upon which most of the relationships are built.
Join us as we tackle the toughest social issues affecting our community, from child marriages to youth empowerment, and from gender-based violence to women empowerment, from governance to corruption, and, of course, women participation in politics, and other male-dominated industries. We will be discussing it all.
Leah, confessed it in Genesis chapter 29, verse 32. She says, God has opened my womb because he has seen my affliction. But despite that, Jacob did not love her.
Our presenter will guide the conversation, ensuring that you have a respectful and thought-provoking discussion. And you have a chance to join in on the conversation through our phone-in segment. Call us live, share your thoughts, and ask your questions. Don't miss out on this opportunity to be part of the conversation. Let's talk about it. Every Wednesday at 1 p.m. on CBC TV. Don't miss.
Auto-Based Engineering is a fully registered company that has services such as towing service, we have a saloon, we repair cars, we have a car wash.
Barbershop is a top-notch.
And many more.
Auto-Based Engineering is the company which you can rely on. We touch any car. We are just at the corner of Pemba Road and Mosotunya Road. You know what? We deliver the best. Yes, we are growing very fast. It's a top-notch company ever in Zambia. When you come, wherever you are, whether you are in America, you come to visit Zambia, please just go to Google Map, type Auto-Based Engineering Group, it will take you where we are. Auto-Based is a one-stop shop.
Come to Auto-Based Engineering, where the best is done. If you want to know where we're located along Ngozoh Road, just right at the corner of Pemba Road, Chilende South. If you want to contact us, you can call us on 0977 18 12 73.
Auto-Based Engineering, doing what we know best.
Back, and in case you're just joining us, you're watching Let's Talk About It with me, Pastor Pauline. My guests are Prophetess Juliet and Prophetess Teresa. They are entrepreneurs. Apart from being the women in the vineyard, they are also women in the marketplace, and we are confronting laziness. We are confronting lack. And, sometimes we may be thinking that for you to start doing something by the side, you need a whole huge amount of profit for you to start. You want to start with a boutique, you want to start with a hotel, you want to start big. But if you have that money, well and good. But if you do not have big money, that is what they are helping us with. You can start business from a 50 kwacha, from a 200 kwacha. They've given us good insights. So I hope you stay glued if you are tired of being broke, So continuing, women of God, from where we ended before we went on the break. Prophetess Juliet, name one thing a woman should remove from her daily routine if she wants her hands to prosper.
Number one is laziness and postponing. Time is never gained when you lose it.
I love that. Postponement, procrastination. I'll just do it tomorrow. I love that.
Yes.
I love that. Prophetess Teresa, name one thing a person should remove from their phone if they want to be productive.
Wow. For me personally, movies. Okay, because every gadget like social media, YouTube, Facebook can be used for productiveness.
Awesome.
Yes, you can use those platforms for productive, for advertising, for research. But I found myself one day sitting idly, because that's my pastime. I would be watching movies. I said, but in that I can actually download books. And if I'm not doing anything, I should be reading books instead of watching. Yeah. So that's my personal. That's what I removed.
I'm just looking at you because I'm learning, and I'm like, so which movie am I going to remove? All of them.
All of them.
Okay.
Put them on your phone.
Okay.
I mean, put them on your TV.
All right.
Your laptop when you're home.
When I'm home. Okay.
And you schedule. Okay, it's 2 hours a day that I'm going to maybe commit to something that's not going to benefit you anyway. It's entertainment.
Awesome.
Yes.
Beautiful insight there. Now that we've talked about it, give instructions. What must people do with their hands after this program? Yes, because it's you learn, go implement it. Not okay, I'll do it like anyway, just like that. So, woman of God, Prophetess Juliet, speak to a woman watching whose hands feel empty and she feels ashamed. What is God's instruction to her this week? Okay. Beginning today, actually, we shouldn't even say this week. She can say, okay, I'll start implementing it on Friday or on Saturday. Beginning today, we are not giving time to chance.
Okay. So as a woman, be creative. I'll give an example. A lot of people love cassava, ija tuteo shoka, and groundnuts. You can pack them nicely, bath, look good. Maybe you can just spend a 50 kwacha, as the woman of God has mentioned, to say we should start with 50 kwacha capital. Then as you go around, put a smile on you. Don't be laugh. Don't be say they are stopping you. You are selling out to people, but you are selling to people. You have put on a glum face. You can't smile. You can't answer properly. definitely you come back with your merchandisers or you come back with your goods. So you need to go out, smile. As you do that, you find that you even win one soul by what you're doing.
I love that. And it's like you've even preempted a bit my next question. Yeah, because I was going to say, you know, those who already have small businesses, like tailors, those who have salons, vendors, like the ones who are selling to the Namlanda Kalet. Packaging nicely.
Packaging
Yes.
is very important.
Yes, packaging. So now to the tailors, oh my shwama tailor. To the salons. So then I stage differently. What should they do differently beginning tomorrow?
So I'll talk about both side, tailors and the hairdresser. I'm also a hairdresser, but I've overlooked that one because I have a lot to do. So I stopped plaiting, even making wigs. But you know, as a hairdresser, we have that mentality. We look at the person. So if people, they will leave you something, they are the people you handle very well. Yeah, sometimes somebody will come scruff without knowing that she's a boss. She has just to come out. Maybe she's an engineer or do something. Then you run to somebody who is looking smart. You don't know that that person you have overlooked is the person who can help you to go on the other level. So you should embrace people equally, no matter how they look dirty. There are some people who have dirty hair. Touch them with a smile, massage them nicely, and advise them, the next time you come, do this. For example, if you do your steam pod 50 kwacha, then you see that person looking good. From there, instantly you will change. You say, no, you didn't hear me very well. It's 80 kwacha. Definitely you have still. Stick to what you have put, or hear to the complaint of a customer by reducing. By then, you win a lot of souls.
That's right.
Or you win a lot of customers. Thank you.
The tailors are not the...
Tell us, if you know that you have a lot of clothes, you have a lot of them, sit down with your owner of those things, tell them to say, actually, you have come, you are on number 5. Know that there are people came ahead before you. So, you calculate today is Wednesday. I think if you can come on a Friday, you find a perfect job done. If that person is in a hurry, tell them the truth to say, but I'll delay a bit. Let's agree. So that when they come, they found that you have done the job clean and on the right time. Rather than to lie to them, to say, tomorrow when you come, you find me done. You even get express money. You know that you won't do it.
Yes.
When they come, you hide. Now you become Judas to your customers. That is very bad.
That's true.
I'm enjoying myself, and I know the viewers are enjoying them.
Judas to your own customer.
Judas is the hiding. Yeah. Prophetess Teresa, speak to farmers and food sellers out there who are watching. What is God's instruction into their hands concerning this planting season? What would you say? Okay, Mwachikanyati, you know, like, okay, we shouldn't spiritualize it. Let's just bring it down. Like, this season.
Yes.
Yeah, what would you say to the farmers out there and those that handle food? Yeah.
We're in the season, what I can say is we're in the season of growth and expansion.
Yes.
We had a very healthy rainy season, and we are very hopeful that it's going to continue on. And in the time of plenty, I advise my farmers, my friends, to save. Just like in the land of Egypt, when the dream was given to the king and Joseph interpreted it. When you are in the time of plenty, you need to develop a system of reinvesting and saving. Do not be in a habit of squandering all your profits because we are in the season of plenty. So save, reinvest, and grow and expand. So right now, we need to go at a speed where the climate is favorable. Make as much money as you can. Plant as much plants as you can. Acquire land right now. This is the season. And this is the season that you've been given for growth and expansion, because the drought will be coming soon. And when it comes, you have plenty in your coffers.
Awesome. And now to the youth, you know, most of the youth are jobless.
Yes.
and I'd like you to speak to them. What is a product or service their hands should start with this month without waiting for government to employ them? Of course, government has started employing, the nurses, but there's been a backlog, So it may take, like I was saying, it took me 12 years before I got my first job. I'm not praying for anyone
to go through it.
No. But before